Ah, there it is.
Yeah. Back on the scene. Make sure I get everything. So I can read the comments on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Been a minute. Traveling. I actually
Yeah.
got to the point that I'm traveling so much that I got tired of traveling. I'm like, dude, I don't want to get on another plane. But going places that never been.
Right.
So we did a week in Paris. For people that know, I don't brag about my trips. I'm just blessed and fortunate that I can take these trips.
Exactly.
So
Hey, I mean, you don't have to explain yourself. That's your life.
yeah,
If you can, if you're afforded to do great things, then do great things.
there it is. Wait a minute, did you go live on Instagram?
Yeah. Well, it's checked. I'm trying to find it. I don't even know. I've never went live on Instagram, so I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. I know you got a check mark.
Yeah, it's got to check more. I know we're on. I know we're on Facebook and
We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube.
YouTube.
Just letting everything just get settled in.
Right.
But to everyone, as we get ourselves populated in, or if anybody want to jump in and get in, yeah, we have been on for a while. Kind of taking a summer break, but we do something that a reason why I don't like to do this a lot because it don't build, it don't help you learn yourself. But sometimes I guess we got to get down and dirty to understand how the effects and the non-effects of this whole political game is going here in America. Um, Me and Jerome do talk about it, but it ain't something that we build on because it has this effects of everybody has their own opinion about everything. Your opinion is your opinion. Understanding your opinion is your opinion, but don't make your opinion try to demonize or make me feel obligated to join whatever political side that you want to be on. I'm independent. It's whatever, but again, it's my right to vote. So it has nothing to do with you. I don't have to tell you or show you who I'm voting for. I don't have to make. I'm not trying to prove whatever political party is what fits you fits you. Like when you buy a car, what fits you within either your budget or your likes or your dislikes or whatever. That's how life is. Whatever fits you, don't mean it fits everybody else. Um, this whole you say last 4, no, 8, no, 12, you say last 14, 15 years. This has been getting very ugly when it comes to the politics of here in America that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people listens to a bunch of bullshit to me and don't research or do anything for themselves. We're people that need to be guided in everything that we do. We're like sheep. We just got to be led. We just got to keep hearing that cowbell, and we keep following the bell to the main leader of the sheep. That's why it's interesting when it comes to politics. Politics and religion kind of coincide with each other in a sense that we don't pay no attention to it because it's the same thing. You're being led to understand something, or you'll fight, or you get in an argument, like in religion. People argue over religion.
Right.
So it's more of a sense of whatever fits you, and that's it. It doesn't matter if it fits everybody else, but at the same time, we have to respect. I think that's what we lack at in this world, especially in this country, respecting one another, understanding one another. I can understand where you come from, understand whatever you feel, but at the same time, I'm not driven by feelings either. I'm not driven by my emotions on how to do things, because if you notice, when you do get driven by feelings and emotion, you're not making a rational thought. You're making an irrational thought, and you're just speaking and just talking. Sometimes people just look at you as like, oh, look at this, fool, or look at this person just talking what they don't know what they're talking about. And a lot of times that's how it is. So when it comes to politics, I'm doing it because Jerome want me to do it. But no, we disguise it. But at the same time, our political phase in this America is getting very out of control. Very, very dangerous. And a lot of people don't see what's going on or see what's going on in the background. But we're getting played like we get played like Muppets right now. We just happen to be on some strings and just getting dangling along. People got to realize, whoever becomes president, if you ever understand what a CEO is, he only does what the board of directors tell him to do. He don't run it. He just the face of the company. He doesn't run the company. He just do what everybody under him tells him what to do in this company. So when you see a lot of people rah rah telling, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but when you see them get into these places, they don't really get to do that because you're not in power. You're not in true power as you think you are. So the changes is not up top. The changes is from the begun, from the bottom, and then you work your way up to the top. So hopefully we can build. Hopefully we can build, or we can at least have an intelligent conversation or a dialect about this. Not saying between me and Jerome, but within ourselves as a people, as Americans, not excluding anybody out of the picture. Citizens, indigenous people, people of non-melanated color, European, the European Americans, the Asian Americans, the real African Americans. But I mean, I do have my opinions on certain things. Again, it's my opinions, and that's it. So, all right, Jerome, let's unravel this. Let's go ahead and rather some. Let's ruffle some feathers right now. Go ahead, man. Get your words out, man. Start us
Okay.
out.
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to Three-Headed Monster. We've been doing this for several years. And as always, it's always about our opinions, how we feel, how we think about certain subjects of the day. We do dive into history. We do dive into culture. But as always, don't believe anything that we tell you. Go back, do your research, find out, get your truth, come to us. Let's politic, let's talk, let's build, and let's go forward. Well, B, I was going to ask you how you doing, but I guess you already told me how you doing.
But I'm good, man.
It's good to be back on with you. It's good that you've been safe from all your travels. Paris, the islands,
A lot of
I
vacation.
never know where you're at, man. You might be in Russia tomorrow. I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with you.
But no. It's more of you seeing other cultures. You seeing how
Yeah,
other cultures and how other countries work, especially when you're in no, because a lot of places I go, I always have family there, and which is a benefit because I don't really get treated like I'm a tourist. So I don't have to. I see different avenues of a lot of things, and you know, the family that I have in Paris has. We wanted to get to Paris before the Olympics get there because the plane tickets is ridiculous and stuff like that. But we also wanted to. I had never been to that part of Europe, so I wanted to experience it and to be there for a week. It was eye opening to see different cultures and seeing how different people react. Because I keep hearing a lot of things when people say they go to Paris. I hear no a lot of negative things. I hear a lot of you know these people treated me this way, that way. It's like I don't know if it's me because I also heard the same thing about Italy. Also, everywhere I go, I mean, if I show respect, I get respect. I don't go. I don't have no issues at any places that I go to. That the fact is, I can come back and say this place is this and this place is that. So I don't. When I leave America, I leave America here.
yeah.
Understand where I'm going, study where I'm going, understand what's this and what's that, and what to do and what not to do, and just
So, not
experience
to
it.
interrupt you, but
Go
are
ahead.
you saying that you don't take an American
Mindset.
mindset with you?
Yes, that is not what you want, and that's what a lot of people do. You take an American, you keep thinking what we do in America is the best thing in the world, and it's not. A lot of people look at you as you. They look at us as being ignorant to a certain extent because we don't know anything. We're just led by whatever we've been told or whatever we learned in school. That's what's been brought forth. Because a lot of times, they'll tell you, they're not teaching you anything that's real. They're not teaching you anything to build you. They just teaching you. I mean, we already discussed this. We already debunked this. What you learn in high school is a bunch of lies anyway, especially when it comes to history.
Right,
They teaching you to be workers. They don't teach you to look outside of you. They don't never teach you to think outside of the box. They want you to stay in the box. And when you stay in the box, you understanding that if I put you in a closed room and lock the door, you just gonna act crazy
right,
because you don't know what to do. And then when I let you out, and that's how being here, you locked in a box. And then when you go somewhere else, you're expecting to be treated like you treated here, and then everybody's like, you in our country. So you're in our background. And that's where a lot of people, where in America, I don't get treated like this. They don't treat me like this. Okay, that's what you think. But if
right,
you go there not being that and being open to different things, being mindful of where you're at, and understanding that you're not at home, your life will go a lot better. If you just go through life thinking that way and respect other people and other people's culture, you life will be way better than what you think it is.
right,
But I think the key word that I keep hitting is just the respect. Nobody respects. Everybody demands respect, but nobody wants to show respect. Then when somebody come at you, now you're in your feelings, or you hurt my feelings, or you came at me wrong. What if you disrespected that person and you just didn't realize that you did, or you did and you just didn't care?
right.
And the confident, in the you know, what comes back at you is just, hey, it just come back at you. But yeah, Paris was awesome, man.
Okay. That's what's I see you left prior to the Olympics. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a
lot of buildings.
heightened security and heightened. Um, they should have been treating Americans right when you was there.
I didn't feel like I wasn't treated. For one, I guess I don't walk around acting like I'm American.
Right.
I think that's where it gets me when people only know who you are because of the way you carry yourself.
Right.
Um, I guess a lot of people don't really think I'm American. They more think I'm more Caribbean than anything because I'm around a Caribbean family.
Right.
The family that's in Paris are my family that's in Guadeloupe. So the island of Guadeloupe. So it is a Caribbean. I am around a Caribbean culture at all
Right.
times. So I guess I appreciate that because I guess this notion of this black white or the whole notion of black, you're black, has a negative content to it. And I think me and you was talking earlier about it when it comes to the politics. Everybody's fighting for the black vote. Everybody's, this is this. It becomes this is the time of the year when everybody focuses on us. You already got everybody else that you want on your side. Now let's go get the black folks. Let's get the colored folks in and bring them in. But then at the same time,
Color, bro.
but then can we not go back into the 60s and nobody wanted that vote? Can we go
Right.
back to 62, 63? Nobody wanted that vote. Now everybody needs that vote. Why is that, Jerome?
Oh, you know that it's because of numbers. We got the sheer numbers to swing votes or to swing elections. So, it comes down to a numbers game.
So it comes to a numbers game.
Right.
But everything that we know and everything that we're people who has been copycat more than anything in the world, correct?
Correct.
But here, I see. All right, fuck it. Let's get into it. Now,
Let's
what I
do
was
it.
telling you was, what I was talking to you about it is why is it that now we have, now it's Trump and now it's Kamala Harris. So maybe Kamala Harris. Before it was Sleepy Joe. And everybody knew Joe Biden was old. Everybody knows that. Hell, Trump ain't young either. He's just what, 2 or 3 years younger than him.
Right. That's
So
correct.
it's still, but then look at the leaders. They're a bunch of older people who were generations in. A lot of people. So it's never going to be changes if we still have old thoughts still wrapped into everything that we do. So we see the situation with Biden, Joe Biden bowing out. And he says he wants Kamala Harris to come in.
Yeah.
So this is what gets me is now the attack on her. She's not American. She's not black. She's not this. We don't want women to run this country. We don't want this to go out. For us as being we human, we come from women. We come out of women. They carry us for 9+ years, 9+ months. I'm sorry.
Wow. I was say that's like a long time, boy.
I meant to say 8+ months because some have us early, some don't. It
Yeah.
depends. But then we go back into this barbaric mindset of women can't run. women can't rule. Not saying black women can't. I'm just saying women, period. I mean, we dealt with this fucking what 8 years ago when Hillary was running. Women
It
is
is.
women that. But go ahead. Use
No,
them.
no, no, no. I got you. Since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Um, I want to define some things.
Go for it.
First of all, black. Let's define that first.
Oh boy.
Uh,
How
B,
deep we going?
we can go as deep as you want.
Fuck, I got time. I ain't got nothing to do today. Let's go.
This is Sunday brunch. What you mean?
All right.
And we ain't been on in a while. The
Let's
people
get,
been clamoring for it. So let's give them what they want.
let's give them what they want. So black. Go ahead and break down what you get black from.
Okay. Well, you know me. I know black is a socially engineered word.
Yes.
It describes, right? Black is a color. Black describes something. It don't really say because since it's an adjective and it's not a noun, then it can't be a people, right?
Facts.
So I know that it's a word that binds. You know, you just throw everybody into a bucket and say that's the black bucket, and you know we've accepted it because you know when you look at pre 60s, those movements when you know we were a people, and then we got integrated and became the black people. You know, we accepted it as a social norm because that's what you heard all the time. The black people, when they weren't calling you a nigger or a color, you know, the black people. So we kind of, as a rallying cry, we bonded as black. You know, so I know black, me personally, I know black is not who we are.
True.
You know, if you even listen, the wording is starting to change. They're starting to talk about black and brown people. So brown people, you know, most people say that's what I am. I'm brown. So you know, it doesn't have anything to do with a language group. They're not saying the blacks and the Hispanics. They're saying the black and brown. So they, you know, they're just molding your mind to accept another color. So. And I'll let you go because you know me.
No, because it becomes you have James Brown made it really, really popular. I'm black and I'm proud.
Right.
But when we go, if you really want to go deep into it, we're going back to like the 1600s. Black was a used.
It wasn't used.
No. It was. It was a.
It
It
wasn't
was
used. Who said black?
no, or was it a 1700? It
You
was.
talking about when
The lower people was.
Here go out a people.
Here come my. Let me get on the news report. This is live. Coming live from Georgia. Our correspondence director down into the ATL, the Georgia Sanctuary. It is Crew Cut. What's going
What's
on,
going on, fellas?
What's
I know
up,
you
Coach?
about to shake this shit up, and
I'm on lunch, man. Go get me a smoothie while I talk to y'all.
I just want to build. I mean, we was break down this conversation we had a little bit earlier about what you was getting on this whole Republican Democratic bullshit.
Yeah, I was talking to some fraternity brothers yesterday. They had a big Zoom call yesterday. And I don't know, somebody had called me and asked me to come sit in and listen. And they were saying a lot of right stuff to me. That they basically was saying like, hey, we had $100 million build up in 24 hours. And for a first generation American, and our ancestors been here for forever, and they died for us, and we're doing stuff for everybody but us. So they were just talking about locally, start running locally and different things like that, but under the Republican banner though.
Okay.
Now that was the thing that they was talking about yesterday, and I was excited. I was like, oh, y'all speaking my language.
I know
I
that's
mean,
right.
I have no issues with being if you're being Republican, but it's under who is where my issue comes. Who's your leader that you're running under that? That's where just me,
Well,
where I have
the
my
party
issues
is.
with.
I think the party need to be destroyed first of all.
Okay.
I believe the party is owed to us. I believe the Republicans owe us the party, and the Democrats owe us to just leave us alone for a little while, because they false promises has been overbearing for the last 50 years.
True.
So we got to remember how they didn't even want us to have the civil rights. They was denying it. They didn't even want to let us be civil. So at that point, I feel like that they just owe us as a American. They owe us. They owe us. That's how I feel.
I mean, I agree with you because a lot of people keep saying the party of Lincoln was Republican. Yes, parties change. We have watched both parties change back and forth. It depends on who's the leader at that time and who's running that party at that time.
When has the Democrats ever been for us though?
No. I
No,
mean, no, they never, but we joined their cause because of what we was being treated because of.
Was it
Uh,
because of the handouts that they gave us?
I don't know.
Welfare, housing, or we're gonna try to blend you in with the people, like we're gonna give you rights. So is that the reason
No.
why we
You're right. I mean, I'm saying we have seen when I say the parties changed because of the racism that these parties were showing towards us. That's what I
I
mean.
believe I believe the Democrats, when they finally took us out of office, they just said, hey, the spot is open, why don't we just take both sides? Because you got to remember, when we had all those offices and stuff that we held,
As a
they put
Republican.
us on. Yeah, they put us on baseball cards, right, and gave them
Hmm.
to different factions of the KKK and ordered us to be killed
Hmm.
or forced out of office. Once we was forced out of office, those white people that took office were rhinos. They was in Republican in names only. Because if they would have been real Republicans, they would have fought to have some type of justice towards us that's lost. And then they didn't just do that; they pushed the Jim Crow. Right after we lost office, we went right into Jim Crow, so we could not come back and become uh, uh, in office. We couldn't get in office no more.
So I guess
So
where
that was
we say, go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead, Jerome.
yeah, I think for me, um, the biggest part of what both of you saying, and before we get too deep into it, is that it's a political system.
Hmm.
It's a two-party system. So anytime
mm-hmm.
you interject yourself into a system and you don't understand the full ramification of the rules and who the system is set up for, then it's like swimming upstream for me. It's
Hmm.
like we're looking for somebody to
Save
take
us.
care of us,
Mm,
but the system is not designed to take care of us. It's designed to keep us in a component or
true.
a compartment, right?
Hmm.
So I don't think we should be in either system.
Facts.
For me,
Okay.
um,
So then, what you think? We should start our own party?
I think we should because I look at it like this, Coach. It's like if anything is to be done politically, you have to have money backing, right? You know,
Right.
you have to
Hmm.
have a
Right.
lobbyist. If you don't have anybody that's lobbying for your issues, they don't get done.
True.
So,
Right.
what black instrument do we have that lobbies for us? We can't really say it's the Black Caucus. We can't really say it's the
Oh no.
NAACP.
Of
We
course
can't
not.
really say that it's anything of that nature because they don't lobby for us in Washington. You know,
Right.
where are our 10-point system or our 10 points that we want to hit in America? Nobody is building this system. So
Facts.
we're dependent, like, for example, uh, the one thing that I like about Trump, calm down, Brian. The one thing I like about Trump is that he said before he started, he said, "You black people, if you have something you want to get done, bring me the business plan." He's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
We got
And
together
Ice Cube
all
did.
these. We got together all these clowns and sent them up there that had no agenda, that hadn't spoke to us as a people, that hadn't thought about or had any guidance for us, and then that got dismissed. He's a businessman, so nobody brought him a plan of how to change our conditions in America. Then why would he get it done? He's the president. He's not your best friend. He's not your buddy.
Facts.
So for me, I think we're approaching it wrong. We're trying to see what best fits us when neither one of the parties is for us. They represent their own. So we need something that represents us.
I agree. 100% I agree. Not one man, but a group. It has to be a group of us. We depending on the Savior, like we depending on Jesus. That's what we depending on a Savior. No, because they are making deities. It's like we're going back into the Roman times. We're making deities as our gods to save us when we have the same power to save. We can get ourselves out of all the situations we're in. We just can't come together. We're constantly fighting each other.
Do you know why we fighting each other?
Go for it.
Oh, where my camera go? Y'all can see.
Your camera there, we looking at you.
Oh, okay. So the reason why we fighting each other is because they putting billions of dollars of propaganda out here to keep us divided. So if I can show black folks glorifying them doing stupid stuff, other children would think that that's what we're supposed to do. Because you got to remember, as a child, you don't know what to do. We're learning as you're growing. So you learning and you seeing, oh, this is what they do. This is what's going on. Kids are thinking that this is the way that we are supposed to act. They think we're supposed to shoot another because you can't talk to them. They think that we're supposed to fight. They think we're supposed to do all this dumb stuff because ain't nobody teaching them nothing else. True. Now, you can say, oh, the parents. Yeah, the parents, but the kids be at school all day with their friends and they picking up other people's habits and different things. So parents ain't going to always be around them. Now, you can instill goodness in your child, but it's not always guaranteed to work because unless you surround them around goodness, then everything else is bound to happen.
That means you got to monitor everything that they do.
And it's almost impossible because why? Rent is so high, gas is so high. The mom and daddy's got to work hard just to keep the roof over the kid's house. Or the single mama where the daddy's not there, and the mama's working 2-3 jobs, and she got 2-3 kids. How is she gonna raise these kids?
The streets gonna raise them. Streets gonna raise them.
But I'm glad you went that way because that accentuates my point when I talk about system, right? We're inside of their system. You talking about
most definitely.
So you're not gonna say to any representative that's in the government, we need these changes because it changes their system. It changes their matrix. Ultimately, black people, and I use the word black, Brian, just to group us all together. Black people are the ones that are set to be on the bottom. So you keep talking.
Scott.
Go ahead.
Scott.
Okay.
Right. I mean, now that's from the 1800s. But he had African descent though.
So he did have African descent.
He did.
So, but I'm saying though, even if you don't have African descent, you're African American.
No, that's a word. Who made that word up?
I know it's a word, but as of right now,
even
if you ain't got no ties to Africa, they're gonna put you down as an African American.
I mean, nobody has direct one generation links to Africa. If you've been over here or if your people have been brought since the 1600s, You talking about 400 years? You look at how many generations apart you are from now.
You've been here since the beginning of the United States.
Right.
Some.
So I don't hear any white people being called Russian Americans,
Right.
English
So we got to
Americans.
stop. First, we need to stop them from calling us two continents.
Right.
We just need to be Americans.
And leave it as that.
Yes. Because
Yeah,
if I was to be in a party, my party gonna have Americans in it. White, black, brown, purple. I don't care. As long as you're an American, you will be in my party.
But I think that's the problem.
It's a big problem.
We divided because they keep using the whole ancestry realm as a sign of division. Like we have taught. Do you consider yourself African American?
No.
You consider yourself
African.
as what?
I'm American. I'm just American.
But your ancestors are indigenous, correct?
I have found indigenous ancestors, yes.
Okay. And just leave it as that. I'm American.
I'm American, that's right. I'm born and bred right here. My DNA is the DNA right here in this ground right here.
Of that Georgia clay?
Yeah. Facts. A lot of us come from this clay.
I'm from that clay. I know what you're talking about.
I know it. So I just think that we just gonna have to find out a way to just focus on that. I think, and that's a big start for us as a people. And say, hey, you know, we ain't been bothering y'all really since the 60s. We really ain't did nothing to y'all, but now we're tired. We don't want to be called Africans no more. We don't want to be labeled African Americans no more.
That's Jesse Jackson.
Not just Jackson, but Jesse got with 80 groups throughout the United States to make that happen. So he was not the only one.
No, he wasn't. He was the face that we blame.
Right.
We blame.
He just wanted to do something because he had lost.
Let me jump in here with y'all with that. So we want to be separated from the name African American, right?
Okay.
As Coach said, he want to be just American, right?
Uh-huh.
But see, here's the thing. For you to claim your heritage, you have to separate yourself from them. That's the fear. They don't want to lose you. But for you to be indigenous here before them, you have to separate yourself. But see, we don't want.
It goes back to the 14th Amendment. It goes back to the 13th and 14th Amendment.
Well, now, see, you talking about citizenship
of
a corporation.
But what we had to give up to say that we're part of the American United States culture.
Right. No, it's not a culture. It's not a culture. They have no culture. They take yours. So when I'm saying the corporation, there's a difference between the corporation and the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
corporation.
I'm saying you have to separate yourself from the people to be your own. That's what.
But we got a big problem though, fellas.
Go ahead.
The Divine Nine.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You have to separate yourself. They want to create. They want to create that separation.
This lady is in control of the border. She's been in control of the border for the last 3 years. Okay, now we got over 20 million immigrants.
That they say.
Wait a minute. That's just what they say. But wait a minute, let's get to the root of this.
All right.
You go to any ghetto in America, guess what you're gonna find? A bunch of immigrants.
Yeah.
So that means the community that the government could have been fixed up, all pretty, put nice jobs and stuff in the area. They could have been did that, fixed up the schools, but now they want to go to Chicago, fix up all these schools that's been down for 10, 15 years. They catering to immigrants with our own money. So they're saying that the average American make $36,000 a year. They're giving the immigrants $37,000 a year initially just coming. So that means we got to work for this money. They're giving them this money, that the money we work for, we're giving it to them.
So that means they don't give a fuck about us.
Now that means we should have a problem with that. and ain't
Yeah.
nobody stepping up, nothing up. Like going to the meetings ain't doing it. And
Wait
I
a
don't
minute, but
blame.
how
I
long
don't.
has this been going on though? This been going on for
I
fucking
know. I know it's
decades.
been going on, and
Hey,
this
look
is a
here.
big shift.
Look here.
But
Let,
I'm listening.
let
Go
me let
ahead.
me say this. So you, B, me, we've been working since we've been like what, old enough to work, right?
I'm not gonna tell you because there'd be some child laws gonna be kicked.
Well,
Go ahead.
He
I
gonna get
know,
his
but listen
parents
to
in
the point I'm
trouble.
making. Listen to the point I'm making. So you've been paying in for people that get welfare and assistance, correct? Both of you. That's correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so do you understand that 68% of the people that get welfare are white?
Hell, that's the whole state of West Virginia. I'm just joking.
And Kentucky. But but do you, if you've been working this long, look how old we are. You've been paying for white people to live on the system. We always say, or they always say, black people live on welfare, but
For the projects.
right, that's what they say.
That's
But
what they
the
say.
numbers, they don't even add up to like 20% of the system. 68% of the people that receive welfare are Caucasians. So I'm saying to you is we're talking about we should be mad about certain things. That's a lot of things been going on for years you ain't mad about. You still been doing it.
Yeah,
Because why?
that's
You put it
because.
on cruise control.
But that's
And you
because we've
live
been
life on cruise
pacified.
control. What'd you say, Coach?
That's because they put it in a way they don't just slap it in your face. They kind of try to slide it in there on you, and then you just act like it is what it is instead of really just like our people ain't been standing on business since Malcolm and Martin. That's the last time our people stood on business.
Since the
Right.
60s. Since the 60s.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. But you
What
got
has
to
that? But what has that done? What has not being negative? The change to join the Democratic Party was a sense of stop killing us, stop beating us up, give us a little bit of protection.
That's fear.
That was fear. So we
that was
joined
it.
out of fear.
And that's why I would never vote for the Democrats because I won't vote out of fear. I won't do it.
Bro,
You're not gonna fear me for my vote.
listen. I know Coach knows this. B, you probably know it, but I'm just saying it for the people.
Uh-huh.
It's like when the Republican Party was the black party, right?
Uh-huh.
They wanted to keep us from voting because we had politicians already in office. We had, and this was around the country, or the known country at that time. The Democratic Party created the KKK.
Uh-huh.
So to keep people from going and voting, to keep business owners from voting for their own benefits, right? And it was said in open court. This is public knowledge, public
These are
document
facts.
that the Democratic Party created the KKK.
Yeah.
I mean, that's public knowledge.
Okay.
People, you just have to look it up. You know, they said it in open court.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm saying to you is, why join any of these parties, bro?
I ain't joining nobody.
Yeah,
No,
you're
I'm
right.
just saying. No, not you. I'm saying that this is open forum. We're talking.
Oh,
So I'm
Yeah, I
saying,
think you
why
shouldn't
would you
join no
join
party.
any of these parties?
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody is for you. The system is not created for you.
It's
Look at
not.
the justice system. They just shot a woman in the face for nothing. And we have to go to court and say, did he do it or did he not do it? Didn't you watch the video?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? The system is
They-
not made for you, bro. You can get shot in the face and this man still can find innocence.
a justification of why he did it.
We
Out
on
of fear.
repeat though. We on
Out of
repeat.
fear.
We are on repeat. People don't notice it.
What you mean when you say that?
1920 you had Spanish flu. 2020 you got the COVID.
Right.
After the Spanish flu, they gave 3 checks to the people. It took longer because they didn't have computers then, but they gave people checks after the Spanish flu. The last ones came out, I think, in 1928. Then, after that,
Wait a minute. In that era, when you said who didn't need it? Who didn't need the checks?
No, everybody got the checks.
Who didn't need it?
I don't know who didn't need it.
Because
You gotta remember the Spanish
was
flu,
we
they
not
had a lot of
striving?
people die from it.
Was we not striving as a people?
We had a lot of deaths due to the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about during that era. You don't have massacres unless the
You gotta
20s.
remember 1920s might have been a great time for Negroes, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. We were striving.
Man, we were thriving big time. We gotta remember we had the number one city in the world for revenue due to the oil, the black gold.
Yeah.
Now you understand what I was saying.
Oh, go ahead. Finish going.
That's what I was saying. We were striving that we didn't really need that check.
But in the 1920s, we were striving. They shut it down all over the country. They gave them stimulus checks out back then too, just like they did this time. After the stimulus checks came out, guess what happened? We went into a Great Depression.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So this is what we're looking at right now. If history repeats itself, because you got to remember, we were standing on business during 1860. Black folks were standing on business during 1860. Go 100 years later, we were standing on business in 1960. So that means every 100 years, it's kind of doing the same thing. So now I'm looking for the Great Depression to hit us around 2030, the late 2020s. I'm looking for it.
Okay. Let me jump in there, B, because
go ahead. You jump in. I'm gonna jump in too. But go ahead.
Okay, because he touched me with a little something, so I'm gonna show you. That is a cycle, just like that. So when you had the Spanish flu, so when you had the Spanish flu, right? The thinning off of the people, if you will, and the fear of being around others, right? You talked about black people were successful. They were to an extreme where they had their own money, so they were putting money in banks. Correct?
Yeah,
that's where they were holding their money. So what we don't correlate at the same time is when they had this flu. This is when the banking commission come together and they crashed the market. They crashed the market for a reason. So banks would take that money and try to pay debts, right? That's when they stole all your money. That's when they stole all your deeds that were in the bank. That's when they stole all your land that was on these deeds. And there was a transfer of wealth at that time. So there was a transfer from your wealth to them. Then they this is crazy. They redistributed it back to the white people. How is that? So they had 2 world wars, correct? Well, the GIs that went over, they got to come back and they gave them GI loans to get houses, to get land, to get education, and they didn't do it for blacks that went over for war. So they redistributed the wealth that was taken from the 20s to the white people, the lower white people, the mid white people, and there was a transfer of your wealth to them. Well, what did we get? We got a civil rights package. What the hell is a civil rights?
That almost didn't get passed.
Right, almost, and it's on a 100-year cycle too, Coach. Look at 1865. They had a civil rights package. 1965, they had a civil rights package. It's all on loop. They give us 100 years to build wealth and then take it. See, at this time, right now, at this moment, like he said, there's going to be a fall off in the Great Depression. But we have to understand how to financially proof ourselves. We got to separate ourselves from them. We got to separate ourselves from their system. Because as long as we're in their system, then we're affected by what they do.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So your money's going to be affected because your money is inside their system. You got to learn how to separate it. So when you learn how to separate it, they can go through whatever depression they want to. Because it was them that was suffering anyway. They didn't know how to form. You see what I'm saying? We knew how to form. So how was that tragic a tragic drought? Farmland got destroyed.
Yeah, they did it on purpose to take your land.
Exactly. That was our farmland that got destroyed.
Created.
But look at it. That just happened.
Yeah,
That just happened during
1930.
COVID.
Bruh. It's a cycle, like he said. Everything's on the loop. You know what? They gonna work the same system because it don't. You ain't got this common sense enough to understand that it's a system and that you're in a loop. That's what they keep talking about, the matrix. They use the same things because why? You don't understand what's going
Same thing
on,
is
and we
going
can do
on.
it
That's right.
over and over and over to you.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you kind of answered what I was going to say, because I mean, when you think about it, you keep finding ways to get rid of people, but it's not the people that they get it when it affects them, it becomes an issue. If it just affects us as colors and melanated people, doesn't matter.
That's because we're not recognized as human beings, first of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, this immigration population ain't doing nothing but offering us as Americans at the end of the day. Because they're making it hard for us. If they're going to give them rent free and somewhere that we're busting behind to work to stay, and then within them 3 years, you didn't jack the rent up. You didn't double the rent up. We paying down here in Georgia $700 a month for a shotgun house. You know these folks want $1,800 a month for a shotgun house? A shotgun house. That's what you call it when you get rid of folks? Genocide.
But you know what? You know what, Coach? We shouldn't be mad that they're jacking up the prices. We should be mad that we don't have our own.
Well, it's kind of hard now because down here in Atlanta, 3 companies have bought up all the housing.
Right.
So the companies
That's been
own
going
60,
on since the 90s, though. You're right.
Well, now they own big major corporations own over 60% of the houses in the Atlanta metro area.
That's true.
That's why I'm not selling.
That's happening all over the country.
That's why I'm not selling my house.
Yeah, I sold mine. That's the biggest mistake I ever did.
You know, and I mean and I think that, and then they make you lease to get back in it. That's where you get where you saying the rent, because now we're going back to the strong capitalist point of the America.
Well, we make the Negroes pay more, and you bring in immigrants and don't pay them, don't charge them nothing. Of course, you're gonna have a lot of folks becoming homeless, can't afford to stay where they stand, and it's gonna be a lot of BS with us people. But
they
we
already
still
said that
fight
you
each
know
other
what?
talking about ops, though.
But you know what? You know why they do that?
They saying we get
Coach,
welfare, we good.
I don't
do
get
that.
no better.
They do that because we won't live like the immigrants do.
I don't want to live like no man. I want to live like an American.
But I'm saying that you in a system. You can want it, but is it ever gonna happen?
Well, I believe that we just need to go put up a fight. It's time to fight.
So
Well,
the last time we fought,
so
what happened?
fighting means separating yourself from the system.
I'm not trying to wait till 2060 for us to get the next to go fight again. Because that's the last time, that's 100 years. I'm not doing that.
So the fear was.
This is what I'm saying. My question was, if you fight, does that not mean you're separating yourself from the system?
Yeah, you ain't got no choice.
That's what I'm saying. So we're talking about we're living inside of a system. It's like, let's take it if it's a slave plantation. You're on a slave plantation, but you mad about the conditions, but yet you go work for Massa every day. But yet when you see Massa, you don't attack him. You know, you just complain about the system and what you live in. It's never going to change because it works for Massa. Or let's not be so dramatic. Let's say you own a farm. You got cows. You don't really care about the condition that the cows are in as long as you feed them what enough to get fat so you can sell them, right?
Right.
But, you know, you don't care about their emotional standpoint. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are. We cattle.
Oh, we cattle.
They don't care
We're
about
food.
They don't care about how emotionally you feel. They want to keep you. They want to keep you in fear. They want to keep you at a point where you don't collaborate. You know what I'm saying? Because
but you are telling the truth. We are cattle, and people think of it as cattle is just like they bunching us up as people. No, we're food. FOOD. A lot of people don't even know that.
Right. Oh, I mean, we sustain them. We don't understand that. That's what you use food for, is to be
So we
sustained.
gotta fight the Dred Scott case. We're gonna have to fight that case because that the case was no African could be a citizen of this land.
That's correct.
So if I got a great grandfather from France and my grandmama, all her mamas is from America, then you can't label me African American.
Was you true?
So if you take off the African title, now we can get some rights around here. Because Dred Scott, you know what I'm saying, with the African, Dred Scott, Jesse Jackson labeled all Negroes African. So we went from Indian, black, Negro to black again. Now we're African Americans, right?
Right. No.
All that to keep us from getting rights.
Right.
Because if you say you're American, they got to give you rights now.
Right. Well, I mean, listen to what you're saying, Coach. It's all about what you say. Just because Jesse Jackson called you African American don't make you one. You know,
right?
It's what we accept and what terminology we use with each other. We heard niggas so much we call each other niggas all the time. What's up, nigga?
Well, but niggas is in reference to the American Indian.
But I'm saying it's the term we use it because we heard it so much, right? So that's why they put African American out there so much. We'll use it, and we use it, and now we got it in documents. You when you go sign an application for something, you'll check African American. You know, you do that. They don't force you to do that. They do put an other, but you don't use other.
I'm gonna start using. I want to.
And if you knew the law, you check white.
I just check American Indian.
If you knew the law, you check white. Just look at your Black Laws Dictionary.
Yeah.
So, but see, because we don't have an understanding, and because we're such followers, we follow, and we think
by design,
anybody that we think is above us, we follow.
Yeah, they call it what they say. What they say? Don't say this. What up, big dog? Just because a person got something more than you be like, what up, big dog?
Right. You see how easy that is?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they put like for example, and I ain't gonna get you to talk about it, but there's a rapper that you hate. There's a reason why they take these rappers who we would call ignorant people to sit
like
and talk
21 Savage.
That we
Stuff
would sit and talk to, right?
Talking about killing people for no reason.
Right. So they give them the status. They give them the appearance of money, the appearance of houses, the appearance. Now think about that. You got the lowest intelligence people with the most. So people that follow, you don't follow the people that with less intelligence just because you think they got money.
So that was the problem in the 1800s. You said
Go
something.
ahead, bro.
So out of all my books reading from the 1800s and Reconstruction, those people that wrote those books, all of them was agreeing on one thing, that we were not intelligent people.
Right.
I'm talking about no matter what book I read during that time, 1860, 1865, we had intelligent people, but the majority, they would say, was not intelligent.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So I know that's how they downplayed us. Like, hey, they not intelligent. They don't need to vote. What are they voting for? But why do they own all this land? So they had to burn up anything that connected you to the land and take your land. Because that's what the Great Depression was. The remaining of the Negroes' land was taken.
Let me say this. Brian always used to talk about us getting back to nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, here's the thing. We're people that were connected to the nature. Or to nature, or the natural, the universe itself, right? So there's no intrinsic value in one thing over the other. Gold means as much as wood, right? When you're connected to nature. So that's how they got us. They value certain things. They value gold. They value money. They value land. We didn't.
Yeah,
right.
We did.
So So that's how they could take it from us, because it's not as valuable to us, because resources were all over the earth, right?
Right. We
So
was on
they
a barter
started,
system. We wasn't.
right.
Our first money was seashells, and people don't even know that.
So they started controlling the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get hungry, once you don't have shelter, now you're at the mercy of whoever controls the resources.
Yeah.
But because we didn't care about the resources until this time, that's how they got control of them.
Yeah,
And
they took
now
all the
us,
resources. They had the great buffalo when they killed all the buffaloes
right. But
to
see,
control the food.
there are people that were in that area used to travel with the buffalo.
I know it.
They knew not to take but so many lives, just take enough that would feed.
Right.
Right.
Because they clothed themselves for the wintertime with the buffalo.
Right.
They fed themselves with the buffalo. But one
Right.
buffalo would feed multiple families for a whole winter.
Exactly. So knowing this, what is the first thing you do if you're trying to take or kill out of people? You destroy their resources.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they destroyed all our resources because that's not what they were living on. They didn't live on that because they didn't have buffalo in Europe.
Yeah,
so,
I know it.
You see what I'm saying? So they destroyed our resources and controlled our resources that we didn't care or value that much. And so now here we are in this generation. We value what they value because that's what our system teaches us. You see what I'm saying? We don't have the old way, to where the old way is teaching you different value systems. But because we value what they value, they can control what we see, and they control our youth, and our youth grows into who we are. So you muted. Oh, okay. Yeah, you muted. I can't hear you, bro.
Oh, I
Coach.
agree with you. I'm with you.
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
My mic muted and I couldn't hear nothing.
I got you. All I was talking about is our value systems now have been corrupted, have been manipulated by them. You know, we have their value system. We care about what they care about now, because why? They're the big dog, as you used to say. You know, they big dogs, so we care about what big dog care about. You know, and we don't care about what we used to, what we started. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't forgot it. We lost
Right.
it.
Right.
Well, they put us in schools.
I mean,
so your ancestors can't teach you. We're going to teach you.
Right.
What is what?
Well,
so
he alluded to Malcolm earlier, and he says, "Where in history have you ever seen the enemy teach somebody else's children? You would never have your enemy teach your children. Why?
But we're conquered people. So the conqueror takes on the history of the conqueror.
Exactly.
That's why.
Well, the created history of the conqueror.
Right.
They don't have that kind of history.
They don't even have no history.
They don't have that kind of history.
It's our history that they just manipulate.
You don't know that.
Why you say that?
Because they could have told us anything.
I had to get a drink of water. I'm sorry.
There was at a moment in history where
I'm gonna tell you. Okay,
go ahead. The law for us to even talk about after the Trail of Tears, and you didn't leave, and you didn't go with the Indians, you was declassified. Right. So that means those people couldn't say they was Indian anymore.
Right.
Or they got in trouble.
So you couldn't use that as a marker for your history. Now check this out, babe. Let's say I take one generation. Let's say I take one generation and I take your child, right? Mm-hmm. And I start to teach your child, you wasn't this, you wasn't that, y'all were only slaves, y'all were from Africa. You just changed the whole people in one generation. Mm-hmm. You just changed, because they're going to grow up and teach their children what they were taught, right? So one generation, I can change the history. So what I'm saying is, in America, that's why there was chattel slavery. That's why that slavery was the most aggressive, the most abusive, the most savage that you've ever seen on this earth. It's because they changed how you thought about yourself, and they changed how you thought about your past. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even want to learn about your past
And the
because
Boule
the
is the one for
brutality
that,
that was going to be placed upon you.
I blame the Boule.
That's another story, but go ahead. You're right.
Only because you go to college, you join a Greek fraternity, and then you go back home and tell grandmama she African. It's like, no, grandmama, I've been to school, I've been to college, I'm telling you, we all African. Grandma like, no, we Iroquois Indian, Creek Indians, your great-great-grandma was Indian. Where's you getting this African stuff from? But grandmama, I've been to college, and the professor, and we learned that we are all from Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you learned that in public school.
Yeah. So basically, but it's kind of, it means a little bit more that your student, your child that's supposed to go off somewhere that has the opportunity to go to this college and be somebody great, comes back and now saying that we're all African. Most of the family didn't go to college. So most of the family's gonna listen to that person only because they went to school.
Right. But see, I love what you just brought up because what it's talking about is validation.
Mm-hmm.
We've been beat so much and we've been downgraded so much, we want to be validated. But the only way we find validation is through another culture's system. You know, you were going through their system to be validated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if you go in their system, they can control what they say you are. Oh, no, you're African. Y'all all came from Africa. You know
Right.
but they never tell you where they came from.
Right. Because if we are African Americans, why they not call you European American?
Exactly.
A Scottish American.
Right.
A Russian American.
Right.
German. We're not the only. So that means that's what we need to fight for. That's something worth fighting for. Just let me be American.
That's true. But like I said, we don't have the concept knowledge to understand why we're the only ones that's called we have a prefix to our name. You know, they put a whole continent because they knew they couldn't define where you were from. They can't. It's crazy, man. The people that are in Nigeria right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all called Nigerians, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask any of them, is your people really from here?
They're gonna say no.
They don't know. They know they're not from there.
They migrated there.
All of them migrated there. They're a mixture of different cultures, but they call Nigerians
because they stay in Nigeria.
Right. So it's the same with us. Like when they give you them DNA tests and they say, "Oh, you from the Lumbi people. You're from Nigeria." That's a lie. Because the people from Nigeria are not from Nigeria.
I've been here since the beginning of the continent, since the day they created the United States of America. And you still don't call us American.
Right.
That's a fight.
That one word is very important. That one defining who we are is that important. I mean, you're right. I'm an American. If you want me to get technical, I'm an indigenous American, and I'll leave it as that.
But
I don't have to show you proof, and I don't have to do nothing.
But B, one generation of folks come here on the boat. They have some kids. They fly over, however they get here. They have some kids. Now their children are American, so as they get older, they're going to be writing down that let's say if they're from Europe, they're just going to say they're American. They're not going to say that they're European American. They're just going to.
I agree with you.
But see, that's the definitions, though. Anybody that was born here is native.
Right, because native means if you're born here.
Right. That's the definition of it.
Right.
But if your people were ingrained in the land, then you're indigenous.
Right. Autonomous.
So that's why they want to come across borders to be born in America, to be American. Now they're a native to America.
Right.
Well, guess what? They were already in the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
All you did was went across an invisible,
But you talking
imaginary
about
line,
Mexicans? I'm talking about
right?
people from all over the world coming
No,
here.
I'm just saying. Listen, what I'm from the concept of it. If you cross an imaginary line and have a child, now you can call that child American when this is all North America.
Right, it's all Americans.
Do we see how jacked up we are?
Yeah, it's jacked up.
I just don't understand. And then now I'm gonna get to Coach. Coach, when he first got on here, what he was teaching us about was treaties, right? That's when he first got on here. He was teaching us about treaties. He said we need to go back and find out where our families come from.
Hartford Treaty is my
and we've done all those things, right? So the Europeans come over and made treaties with the people that were in this land, us. We keep trying to prove that we're Americans. Why? We just need to go back to the treaties that's already in law and get what was already determined for the people who were here.
But United States has broken every treaty that they have ever given us.
They can, and that's fine. All we have to do is stand on the Monroe Doctrine. You see what I'm saying? If you broke treaties, then this is what. Now, I'm glad you said that they broke treaties. This is the missing part. I hope we don't get took off here for this. But when you break treaties, right, you have to get reciprocity.
Right.
And see, that's why we should be in the United Nations, because we have to get reciprocity for all the treaties that were broken against our people.
And it's a lot of them.
And see, I don't care about being called American. I don't care about being called that. Don't really matter. We were a people that were in this land that had treaties broken. So we have to have reciprocity. Right. We don't need reparations, all that. It's already built into the treaties that were broken.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why they're getting you all tangled up and thinking about reparation. They confusing you. We already got reciprocity that's supposed to be coming between us. See, reciprocity is only between nations, one nation to the next nation. So when a treaty is broken, that country that broke the treaty has to pay reciprocity.
Well, they need to pay us something because they didn't broke all they love, everything.
That's because you're not speaking on it though.
Yeah,
they're not gonna say nothing to you. And now when I say you, I ain't talking about you individually. I'm talking about us as people.
But they're keeping us occupied with police killing us and stuff like that. That's keeping us busy.
They're keeping you busy.
Right. But I think yesterday, I read on last week sometime, they arrested a South Korean man. Anybody heard of that?
No.
The highest paid some type of doctor from South Korea here in America. They gave him like 80 years or something like that. Because he showed how all the American doctors, not doctors, but hospitals would keep you sick.
Right.
So the pharmaceutical company or whoever, they went out and locked this man up.
Right.
So they're letting you know that anything that's good for you, these people are willing to do anything. So I don't believe nothing's good for us anymore.
Facts.
Everything is bad. From the water to the fruit to the
air. Russell sent a message to say, y'all taking callers today. But you see it? But this is my thing. When you talk about the system, right? And we were talking about being cattle, right? So if I can keep you sick, we are the most resilient people in this world. They can do things to make us sick, but they can't kill us. And we last for long periods of time. And in those periods of time, guess what you're doing? You're paying. You're paying for the sickness. You're paying, trying to find a cure. You're paying for this. You're paying for that. That's part of the cattle part. They're not eating you as food.
They eating you too.
No. I'm not talking about the ritualistic ones. I know they are, but I'm talking about as in general.
Right.
They're using you as a cash cow. They keep you sick. All you think about is paying for your sickness. You know, I'll tell you one thing that's sick is having to pay for where you live. One thing that's sick is having to pay for water. One thing is sick is having to pay for food. That's sick, man. Where would a civilized culture charge you for those things? Housing, food, water.
Everything is being obsoleted to where we won't be able to use anything.
But you think you're in a civilized nation when you're not.
Oh no, we're not. So I know B said he got to go. We got to
I
catch
gotta
back
roll
up
out,
with him.
brothers.
When y'all
One
gonna
of
do
the
this
first times I
again?
got a bow. Hey, I actually like this.
Yeah, we were slow today, so I was able to talk on work. This slow Sundays.
Hold on, when are
Everybody
you
at
off?
church.
When are you off?
Thursday, Saturdays. But I ain't never off. I work every day, even when
Hey,
I'm
you gotta
off.
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, so you let me know ahead of time when you do a show. I'll make some time.
No. What I'm saying is Jerome running the show today.
Oh.
Jerome in control today.
Oh, I thought I see you said you had to go. I thought y'all about to
Because I got to do some other stuff though. Because it took me a while for me to get on. So Jerome is running the board today. So
okay.
that's why I
Okay.
said I got to roll, but Jerome
All right.
said it's in.
Oh, I'm here. We slow. We ain't got no action in today.
So
None.
I appreciate the concept. I mean, we can get on whenever, man. If we
Okay.
building, this is what I'm saying. We building. We
Yeah.
building. We can. If we
It
can.
got to
If we
start
building.
somewhere. The information got to be released and thought somewhere.
Right.
But I appreciate y'all, brothers. I know I just got some family stuff I gotta get taken care of. So
Okay.
go ahead and y'all do your thing. I'll be listening, but y'all go ahead and do your thing, man. So I'm out,
Okay.
brother.
Okay. All right, brother B. We'll catch you next time.
All right, y'all. Do your thing, man. Keep building.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. So Coach, go ahead and finish your point.
Yeah. I'm about to get back to work, big homie.
Yeah. Oh, you getting ready to get back to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just let me know when y'all gonna go live again.
Yeah.
And I'll make some time.
All right. No doubt. Hey, I appreciate you taking your time out.
I appreciate y'all sending me a shout out, man. I like coming to deal with y'all guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right. All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.